Hey, it's Jared. I've been shooting photos professionally for over 20 years now, and I've had to change a lot of things with my business and what I offer as a photographer over those 20 years. Not only have I changed different types of photography that I offer, I don't do as many weddings as I used to. I do a lot more product photography, and I didn't do that back then. There's just things that have changed in my own business. But as I continue to move forward, the expectations of clients continue to change as well. And as I have gotten older, I've wanted more securities in my business, and running a photography business can be kind of challenging in having that sort of security, especially if you do more portrait style photography where you're not sure how often you're going to get to work with the same client. You might constantly be searching for new clients, and that can be rather challenging. So I have 5 creative ways that you can grow your photography business in 2025. Some of these I've already been doing, some of them I am going to do, and I'm sharing these because I know as a photographer, I need a steady income. I have a family that I support, and I need to make sure that I have new business coming in. And so the first one is one that I never thought of in the past until I realized that I needed more recurring revenue in my business, and that is to offer subscription-based photography services. Now, you may have heard people talking about this before, and what I often hear about this is like a family portrait session that people can pay yearly for. They pay one fee every year, it's automatically billed, and then they have a photography session every year. And while this is very useful, I think, especially for people like me who we haven't had a professional photographer shoot our family photos in a long time, and I've heard this from many other clients that have said, oh, it's been way too long since we've had photos. And so sometimes paying for something in advance assures that it's going to happen. But I've utilized this more with businesses in shooting photos for businesses because they need marketing materials, whether it be for social media, their website, other things that are going on. As good as our phones have gotten, and we could of course buy a camera and take pictures of our own business, people running their businesses just don't have time for that. It gets put on the side and they never end up getting it done. And so if I was a business and I could spend $500 every quarter, and a photographer would come once a quarter into my business and take pictures for 2 or 3 hours and then provide me with a whole bunch of stuff that I can use for all of my marketing needs. That's huge. And then me as a photographer, I know that if I had, maybe 20 or 30 of those clients, that's a pretty thriving photography business, depending on what you charge. It's really easy to get businesses on board with this because they all know that they need this kind of content. They don't want stock photography. They want photos of their actual employees. They want photos of their actual products and services. And that's what they want to be sharing on social media, but they can't pull it off. And so $500 a quarter is pretty affordable, and you could charge, whatever based on what you think the businesses in your area and the type of photography that you're doing could be worth. But that is a service that can be signed up for. You could put it into an agreement, like a 1-year long agreement, and then you're guaranteed business for 1 year. And if you've delivered on all your promises and done good work, chances are they're going to sign back up for another year. And you could reach out to them towards the end of that year and say, hey, I hope that you've enjoyed everything that I've done for you this year. I'm ready to get the next year booked. And so I wanted to see if you wanted to re-up, and then you just keep it going. And then you have a subscription-based service for your photography, and you know who you're going to be working with, how often you're going to be working with them, and best of all, how often you're going to be getting paid, which is huge for a photographer. The second item is to embrace the virtual and augmented reality photography space that is emerging. VR has not taken off as fast as most people have hoped that are probably creating this type of technology, but we see it more and more in different ways, not just with VR headsets, but we see more immersive virtual tours of homes, like higher end homes that are available for sale. You go on the website and you can zoom and basically walk through the entire home, and it looks great. So this type of photography definitely might require a bit of additional equipment, but in thinking about the future of content consumption, you're thinking about how do you take the types of photography that you do and bring it into that more immersive world. And this is easier to think about for real estate or tourism or something like that, but any photographer can get creative with this. business. Number 3 is to collaborate with niche industries or interests. Now, there are a lot of smaller industries in areas that don't have photographers that are specializing in the work that they need. For example, I just joined a local home builders organization because that gets me face to face with contractors, people that are building homes. If they're selling that home, they'll need photography to sell it, and they'll also need marketing services to grow their customer base. But depending on your area, there's probably lots of smaller interest-based or niche industries that a photographer hasn't really thought of. And those are great opportunities for you to meet and network with new people that you can introduce to your services. Just thinking of a couple of different ideas, there's fitness branding. There's lots of local gyms. Not everyone is working with a photographer. There might be local boutique stores that need photography of their products and different things that they offer for social media. Local artist collectives. Maybe you have a music scene locally, or even cosplay communities to offer them tailored photo shoots. If you become the go-to photographer for a specific niche, then everybody will think of you because you have the perceived most experience in taking photos and capturing content in this specific niche of the industry. Number 4 is hosting photography-specific events. This could be hosting a day of mini sessions, which allows you to have a large amount of photography clients for small batches of time throughout a day. You could exhibit your work in a local business or coffee shop and be available to answer questions or showcase some of your work. You could take part in a local pop-up event or festival that gives you the opportunity to showcase your work. Hosting events not only builds your brand, but also creates personal connections with potential clients because you're getting to meet them face to face. Number 5 is to leverage content marketing. This means utilizing things like social media and email marketing to reach more people and communicate with them. This will vary based on what you're comfortable with. Some people are very good at visual storytelling and bringing their photos alive, telling a story about how everything unfolded. I definitely haven't been really good at that one, but what I have been good at is sharing my expertise and helping people better understand photography. And through that, people have positioned me as a photographer of choice because I know what I'm talking about and I've demonstrated that to them. So you can also do this through behind the scenes videos, tutorials, do a photo essay on something that you've captured, and share these things on your website, social media, and on YouTube to establish authority and to connect with your potential customers. Video content in particular is highly engaging, and it's really good for us as photographers because it showcases our own personality and our creative approach, allowing our audience to see what it would look like to work with us. So while 2025 is well underway, there's plenty of time for you to implement maybe 1 or 2 of these creative ideas into your business so that you can increase your bottom line and have a great rest of the 2025 with a lot of momentum going into 2026. Let me know down in the comments if you've tried any of these ideas and the results that you've had. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe because I've got more stuff like this coming. Now, if you're just getting started or thinking about starting a photography business, check out the link in the description below to my free photography side hustle course. It'll teach you everything that you need to know to start a photography business, and it's a free course, so check it out, link down below. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you back in another one. Take care.